Okay, hey, what's up, guys? So, my last video, we we messed up a servo, the steering servo, on our 1/16 mini revo here. Bad news. So, I wanted to kind of take this apart here for you guys, kind of show you what these were all about and what goes on with them is, hold on, I'm trying to do this one-handed here. That gear on the bottom right there, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's what's stripped out. So, servo, garbage. Okay? We're not going with another cheap piece of crap one from Traxxas. I'm sorry, it's just not that great of a servo for this vehicle. Garbage. Okay? So what we did was I got an aftermarket one with metal gears in it. I played with this twice. It broke. I was like, well, I'm not going through that again because, to be honest with you, this thing wasn't that easy to change. It was actually kind of frustrating. I've changed several servos on several different models, and this is by far the hardest one. So let me kind of show you what I did here to make this aftermarket one work. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find the box here. See if we can get a brand on this and a part number. Okay. So this is the box right here. It was very inexpensive. It was only like 22 bucks for this. I actually took it apart just because I wanted to see what the steering servo was all about, and I was pretty impressed with how well it was built. The gears that are all metal in there, I think they're brass. I want to say they look like they were brass gears, so they can withstand a lot. And then I hooked the power up to see how strong the servo or the steering servo was, and without even being hooked to the car, I moved it, and you could just feel the power in it. The response is so much better in this one, but it was tricky putting it on. Actually, I had to notch this out right here because this actually usually is over here on the old one, but it's because of how the wire feeds in there. So this on the Traxxas servo, which I'll show you here, that's on the bottom there. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way you really put it when you're putting it up through. Well, the problem with this servo is it only goes one way. You cannot get this part here where the wire comes out to go this way. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll just put it on the other side. Well, I could not get it to line up over here. For whatever reason, it would not line up over here. I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to set properly. I couldn't get to where I could even make any adjustments on it and the placement where I needed it. So this is what I came up with. This was running into here a bit, so I just notched it out. Not a big deal. I'm not really too worried about it. And this one actually has a set screw that goes in it, unlike the Traxxas one. Now, I used this piece right here that ties onto this dog bone. I used this piece right here. And you'll notice that there's a hole on the top of it. And when you get your new steering servo, this one, you'll put some Loctite around the threads, and then you'll put some Loctite on the screw, and then just run it down, and that's what holds it in. And that's what makes this such a better system. Because another problem that you can have with these is these can strip out right here too. These gears. And this didn't have half the power that this one did. So I think this is going to work out a lot better. And yeah, but it was a pain to get this figured out. But that was my solution. If you guys know of a better way, leave it in the comment section. That would be great. But this is the only way that I could find to do it. And these are protectors. I really didn't want to notch that out, but in the same sense, I really didn't have a choice. And like I said, until I can find an identical one, like pretty much the same design that Traxxas makes for this, an aftermarket one with metal gears in it, then this will have to be what it is. Like I said, I looked and looked and looked, and that was the closest one that I could find. And the thing of it is these are like $32 for these servos. It might even been more than that with shipping. And this one was 22, and that was shipping and everything. And it's metal gears and it's strong. And like I said, the response on this is just so much better. I'm a lot happier with it. So I haven't got it quite all put back together yet. Silly me. Put the steering servo in backwards, so I had to take this back off and flip it around. So I should have double checked that before I put it back in. But it's all put back together. Got the mesh set right. To be honest with you, I didn't run a piece of paper through this one. All I did was just, I've been doing this a really long time, so I can pretty much set them just by rolling them. If it strips out, I guess that's shame on me, but knock on wood, I haven't had one do it yet, so just learn to do it just kind of by pushing them. If you go to run your RC vehicle and you hit the trigger and it just goes and then pretty much stops, that means you got the mesh is way too tight. Now, if you go to push it and it rolls for a while, then you got it way too loose, and then they're gonna strip out. So, but I think it's set pretty good right now. But yeah, this was a process. I haven't really got to take it to the skate park or anything like that yet because I've been working on it, and then I had to wait on the parts. And another reason is, until all this COVID-19 stuff is over, the skate park's closed. So, yeah. And then, since we were working on this one, I said, well, you know what? Let's just get the parts for the X-Max. So that's what we did. We got the X-Max all up and running. So I ended up stripping out the gears in this. There's the gear. So this was a 46 tooth on 18 for sprue gear. Now, I've never seen one of these steel ones do this. Is this bad. Like, I've chipped a couple teeth off, but never nothing like that. Just straight carnage in there. I bumped it up. I did. I slowed it down a bit because my kids like to play with it, but they don't drive it like I drive it. They're a little harder on it. So I slowed it down a bit just for them. However, I am getting the 46T ordered again just so I can have it. So I lost some speed. But, I mean, I didn't lose that much, I don't think. I think probably 5 to 7 miles an hour I think I lost. The sprue gear, though, I just stayed with the 18. So I'm not 100% sure on exactly if leaving it at 18 is going to hurt me or not in that sense. So if someone could leave a comment or something along the lines of that, that would be great. But yeah, I love this thing. This is my pride and joy right here. This thing has just been through so much, and it's just taken every bit of it. I need to get a new body for it. I do have the Snap-on edition version. I do love this thing. This thing lights up. It's so cool looking. It's dirty right now. I don't even know why I play with it on there, but I like the lights and stuff. It's really cool. But I've basically beat this to crap. This is like a $400 body, and I've pretty much destroyed it. Shame on me for that. Shame on me for that. This is really just supposed to be a collector's edition. I should have just put that body up. And didn't. So, but I did find out a couple of cool things. When they released this 2 years ago to me, that's when they just started putting the steel gears in the Snap-on version ones, and I didn't know that. So this has got a couple upgrades that some of just the regular ones don't have. I've seen them online where they didn't come with the fans, and I got the dual fan set up for my motor. It doesn't have a fan on the ESC, which I'm going to get one of those soon because I really want one of those, because there's been a couple times where my ESC's warmed up pretty good. Not that it was probably hurting anything, it just got a little warmer than what I thought. And then I re-greased everything in here. This wasn't too hard at all. This was pretty simple. There is an Allen head here, Allen head over here. You take that out, and then, of course, the motor has to come out, etc. there. Probably the whole hardest part on it is actually getting the fan back on this stupid thing. Man, that was kind of a nightmare. I still ain't got them in all the way, because they go right into the side of the fins, and they got to line up just right, and it's kind of hard to do. But so yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I haven't had to do a lot with this in the 2 years I've owned it. This thing is stupid tough. It's jumped 40 feet in the air. I've had it as fast as it'll go. On, you know, the biggest 3S batteries I have, dual battery 3S, and as fast as it would go, it was probably doing about 45 or 50. And I mean, I've just launched this thing and bashed it and crashed it and flipped it and wrecked it, and it just keeps on going. I haven't broke a shock. I mean, this is the only thing that has happened to this. Other than when I did first get it, it did go through a motor. But Traxxas was nice enough to send me another one. I think I got it in like 6 days or something like this. It's actually pretty quick. And that's it. That is all that I have done to this. So I'll kind of show you guys here when I'm running for batteries for the X-Max. So I'm running these. They are the 7200 milliamps, 11.1 volt. I actually got these at Phil's Hobby Shop. I live in Ohio, and it was just a hop, skip, and a jump away. About a 45-minute drive to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I really like them guys up there. He gave me a really good deal on these. I think I seen them online, and they were like almost $80. I ended up getting a pair of them for right around like $60 or $62 a piece. And they have the Traxxas connectors right on them. So that's nice. And then they have the ID. So the way you do this is here. I'll show you guys real quick, because I did not know this. This is why I always stuck with Traxxas, because I didn't know that you could do this with these. Traxxas have really kind of thought of everything with these chargers. And I do have the older charger. Let me get this hooked up here real quick. I do have the older chargers. I don't have one of the new ones. The charging rates on them is a lot faster, I guess. But basically, so here's what you do. You get your ID all hooked in there. Make sure that's fastened in there nice and good and tight. And then I'll do one side here real quick. You hit this and this at the same time. That's going to do that. And you go over to your other one, or you can do them both at the same time. Now they're reading. And then you pick what you want to do. So I'm just going to go to, I'll just keep it on balance. And then you hit them again. There it goes. Hit it again. And then they're charging. See, these are pretty much already charged. I'm just kind of giving you guys an example here. So this is going to go rather quickly. It charges these batteries. It's kind of slow. For my liking, it takes about an hour and a half to charge these fully. And sometimes you have to do 2 cycles on this, which that's kind of the downfall on it. And then another thing that I have that everybody wants to get, as soon as I can find it here, is for your batteries, to monitor your batteries. That is one thing that you really want to do. And I can't seem to find mine right now. So I'll have to put that in a different video. But those are an awesome thing to have. I got stuff just scattered everywhere. I've been working on my RC cars the last few days. So I'll put that in another video for you guys. With the Traxxas ones, man, I keep going through them. And I don't know. I just don't think the ones that it came with are just, I don't think they're enough. I think that motor and that ESC pulls so much power that it just kills these batteries, because they don't last long at all. So I'm pretty much done with the Traxxas batteries. Every other vehicle that I've ever used, they've done great. Just for whatever reason, I don't know if I need to switch to 4S or I don't have no luck with these batteries. I've bought in several of them, and I keep going through them. So these new batteries are working out great. I bet you the X-Max is probably 10 trips with those new batteries already. The guy up at Phil's Hobby Shop told me that I would only get about 20 to 25 minutes of playtime out of those batteries. I'm getting like 45 minutes, and I know you guys are going to say there's no way you're getting that long. I'll make a video on it, and I'll show you guys how long I'm getting out of it. It is crazy. I do have a certain way how I charge my batteries, just because I use the dual charger, and when it goes off and says it's done, I still have my checker. I put it on it, and I see if it's 100% charged or not. This Traxxas Easy Peak charger has stopped charging at 65% on these batteries. Okay? So I plug them back in and I start the process over again, and I'm finding out sometimes they'll run for another half an hour to 45 minutes longer and take more of a charge. You really want to get your memory right in these batteries when you charge them. So make sure you charge them right the first time. And then when you use your vehicle, make sure you run the batteries down. Okay? Battery memory is what it's called. And I know there's some people out there that's going to say, "Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy." Well, I think that there's a lot of truth behind that. I really do. That's just my personal opinion. But I've had great luck with these batteries. Best batteries I've ever bought, right here. And I had about $140 wrapped up in both of them. So kudos to Phil's Hobby Shop for that. Because like I said, I was looking online and they were just $80, $90 a pop. And then those Traxxas ones, those are $69 a piece. I've probably bought in, I don't know, probably more than a half a dozen of those. So, but anywho, as soon as the skate park opens back up, these two right here, we already know what this one can do. This can handle just about anything. This one, we shall see. We shall see. All right, guys. Have a good night.